Hello, I'm Adriana and welcome. In order to become a clear vessel for information from the higher guidance from the divine, I have worked on my own issues every single day for the past 8 years. This has allowed me to increase my vibration to the point of receiving clairaudient messages as well as other forms of communication from the divine. This reading today is for an individual, and the point of this reading is to get into what's going on, what can help you resolve some of what you're feeling so that you can continue to bring positive energy into your space and into your own environment. So before we pull the cards, let's go ahead and get our energies aligned. Please draw your energy into your heart and just breathe there for a little bit. Please open up the energy up here, meaning just visualize that, whether it's the top of your head or just a ball of energy, just kind of opening up here. Big breaths into your feet. Really feel your feet or your sit bones if you happen to be sitting, grounding into the floor. So release anything that is or icky or bothering you into the floor and pull up that stable, grounding, calming energy from the earth into your heart. And let's go ahead and draw our first card. So I'm going to probably pull all the cards out and then show them to you as I'm talking about them. All right. So our foundational cards: Ace of Air, Nine of Earth, Temperance, and the Magician. Interesting. So starting and ending with strong one energy. Whenever you have that one energy, it's symbolic of a doorway or portal that it's time to walk through. Okay, let me see what else is going on here. All right, we've also got Nine of Water, Ace of Fire, another ace, and the Queen of Fire, giving you some nice support. Okay, challenges coming. Challenges, Ace of Water. Man, you're like the queen or the king of aces today, which is an oxymoron. And the Elder of Air. And then outcome or ultimate spiritual lesson, Three of Earth. Okay, so I've got a pyramid, and I wish my camera setup was such that I could show it to you, but it looks like at the foundation, we've got Magician, Temperance, Nine of Earth, and the Ace of Air. The Magician represents your power, your superpower, and the visionary qualities that you have. The foundational cards here are what is at the heart of you, but also what is at the heart of what's trying to be resolved. And so you have incredibly strong visionary capabilities, the ability to see things before they become problems, or the gift of foresight. And there's also, when you're in your right mind or when you're in your right place, you do not second guess yourself. You have absolute confidence with the direction that you want to go, with the with knowing how to get there. Even if you don't have all the answers, there's part of you that just reaches, that just knows how to act, That's what I'm trying to say. We have a lot of action cards in your support energy, and the Magician is reminding you to live in that space of confidence, live in that space of total self-trust, because there are other factors, there are other factors clouding this part of you, whether it's too much leaning on other people, too much dependence, or just going. Okay, I see. It's like other people create chaos, and it's been your job, what you've been comfortable with, to always resolve that chaos or calm that chaos down. You're the one that has to channel everything to a calmer place or to make other people feel better. And as a result, you give up your wings a lot of time. You give up your own ability to soar, or you give up your own ability to see opportunities beyond where the situation is. It's like you get comfortable to a certain point and then you kind of stop. And it's interesting. She's got these orange wings or yellow wings behind her, but she's sitting on this fox, very content, not wanting to go anywhere. And it's getting to a point where you can't sit in that comfortable energy anymore, and the Ace of Air pushes you into action. So you have the mental clarity about what you're trying to do. Let me go back to our Ace of Air here, because there's something else in this card. What else is in the Ace of Air. You know, what is striking me the strongest about this card is that she is incredibly strong and self-contained and brave. The positive side of the divine masculine, she takes responsibility. She takes matters into her own hands because she sees what the truth is. The magician was also holding a sword behind his head or her head. This one takes up the sword to do action, to bring action forward. And so there's this tension between the confidence of staying where you are, knowing what you know, and the tension of taking action. Look at the magician's feet. They're just strongly planted. Whereas this one, she's about to turn. So it's this tension between action and knowing what the action should be that is at the foundation of where you find yourself. Now, on the positive side, things that are going for you, Nine of Water, you have recently had a blessing answered. You've had a prayer answered, or you've had a request or a wish answered. And what got answered almost arose in a magical way. And it manifested, really the starfish is sticking out quite a bit. It manifested in a way that you couldn't mistake the gift, and yet you couldn't believe that it was truly there. And that is to remind you that you're never alone in anything that you're doing. The divine, your guides always love you. There is always support for you, and they're always trying to help you. And it's almost like they put this gift in an odd place so that you would more strongly believe. I had a friend a while ago, and she was on a hike in the middle of the woods, and she found, actually it looked like an oracle card with a crow on it. So the rest of the deck is nowhere. Either someone dropped it or was left there for a different reason, and she was having a lot of synchronicities around crows at the time, and there was another one. And it was left in the weirdest place. And I'm sure that you found other things in weird places. This is something kind of like that. And so what it's trying to do is, as you're moving, because the Ace of Fire is also in your camp, as you're moving through the dark, into this space where you know you have to go, you just know that you're not alone, and that even in those moments where you feel alone or you feel unsupported, you're not. It's like a little wave of the magic wand away. And the Queen of Fire says that the more you open up to this light that you're seeking, or the light that you're headed towards, the more help you'll receive. Queen of Fire comes as a very supportive energy, and she helps you get things done. So the point of all these cards is to give you, or the point of these cards we've been talking about, is to give you the courage to keep moving forward on your path, because there is help going to come from unexpected places. And really take that to heart. There is going to be help from unexpected places. So there is really nothing to be afraid of and there's nothing to doubt, but what you have a hard time accepting is that you are held and protected. It's hard to see sometimes, and it takes a second to come into focus, but do you see that hand that's holding the mermaid? These energies come as challenge energies for you, believing. So this may be also like a self-worth kind of a thing, or a self-esteem, believing that you are worthy of being helped, believing that you're not too small or you're not too insignificant to receive help. You will receive help. You will receive guidance. You will receive the peace and the clarity that that want to come towards you. It's just about trusting it and looking for it, being open for it. I have a special connection to crocuses. We're back to the Magician card. It was my favorite flower when I was growing up, when I was 2 or 3, and I would always look for crocuses, even if it was out of season, like in the middle of the summer or the fall. And my mom would take me to play groups, and the other kids would be playing with whatever toys, and I would just be running around outside, like darting from one corner of the lawn to the next. And she would say, what are you doing, Adriana? And I'd say, but I'm looking for crocuses, because to me, finding a crocus was so special. And even though I didn't know it was out of season and I would never find a crocus at that point, I kept looking. And that's that kind of innocent, childlike attitude is what can really help get us through the dark times, because at that time of being 2.5, I had no idea how long passage of time meant, how long I'd have to wait to find that crocus. I was so lost in the joy of looking for them. I didn't care how long it was going to take. And that's what we have available to us. If we don't have any kind of preconceived idea of when we should be helped, or what that help should look like, what these gifts should be, then they come in and they're more, this is our 9 of water, they're more bounteous, they're more bountiful than we expect they could be. But we have to look for them. We have to believe that we're being trusted, we're being entrusted, but we're being guided, and we're being helped and held by forces greater than we. And there's another energy wanting to come through this Ace of Water card, and I'm thinking that this is an energy on the other side for someone. So give me a second with the message here. Oh my God, I've never seen that before. It's actually both hands. I thought it was only one hand, but it's both hands. So that's very significant, because for some reason the person I'm connecting with, hands were very important to them. I don't know if they worked with their hands, or they were very expressive, like affectionate towards you with their hands, but or maybe they were also handy, like the handyman, or good with their hands. This person, again, that I'm connecting with, is very connected to the energy of hands. And they literally want you to know they're handling it. They've got it in hand. It's in their hands. So you are literally in their hands. Just like you might have been embraced, or maybe, they're good at like touching you on the shoulder when you're upset, that kind of a thing. You're in their hands. Can you give me anything more? This feels like a feminine energy, like a grandmother energy. And there's also, it's just a very calming, comforting kind of this smile, like everything's okay. There's also, there's something about, I'm sorry, this is going very strange for me. There's something about hot chocolate as well. That warming, kind of comforting, nurturing energy, that's who is holding you at this time. And yeah, okay, so I'm getting our move on, because the next challenge for you is Elder of Air. There is someone in your environment who has a very, it's a colder, it's a detached, it can be very critical at times kind of energy. And you need to be very careful that you're not listening to this energy more than you're listening to this energy. This is the energy from the other side. This is the loving energy of that loved one who is passed, who has everything in hand. This sword energy is going to be a problem for you. So either you getting in your head or trying to seek out too many other opinions. I also feel like this is critical energy, critical words that want to derail you from your path. And maybe the person might be well-intentioned or well-meaning, but their words are not aligned with your own power. This is an energy that, although it likes to talk big and it may sit on a big throne, is actually very small. They have taken steps in their own life to keep themselves small. I kind of really love this because even though she's sitting on the throne, her feet can't touch the floor. She's really kind of ungrounded. And when you're ungrounded, you don't have as much power. Remember our feet in the Magician card, very grounded. So they have made choices to keep themselves small, and it's that bark is worse than the bite. They're all talk, or they're all show, and they make you think that they know best, but no one knows best for you. It's like a drop of cold water, whereas this was that warm, loving, embracing, huge, enfolding energy, and this is like it's like a little thing that comes through. And what her job is, or what his job is to try to undermine your confidence. Remember, we had Queen of Fire as that support, knowing what you need to do and going through it. This energy is being sent by the universe to undermine your confidence so that you know what your true confidence is. Because your true confidence here has to do with learning how to draw on the correct strength, how to attract and trust the right allies. That's what this whole everything is about here. And as you learn to draw on your own strength, the idea with working with others or depending on others for support takes on a whole new conception or a whole new feeling. Whereas before, maybe you were leaning on them to do some of what you felt you couldn't do. Now you arrive as an equal partner who has something to contribute of value, and you're not having to draw reassurance or validation or ideas, or you're not having to draw from other people. This is such a fun card because every one of these individuals is very different. The fox is not a fairy, is not an apple, is not a crow. And I mean, just think for a second how different all of those animals or beings are, yet they're working together. And when they work together, there's a really special synergy that comes out. And somehow this is going to relate back to our Ace of Wands. I don't know how yet. I mean, Ace of Swords. There's a special synergy that comes out. And there's a new frequency that all of you experience because you're bringing your strengths together and you're bringing the essence of who you truly are. It's like you're allowed to be yourself without trying to be someone else. The Elder of Air would love you to be someone else. All the crows look the same on her card. But we have these three very distinct individuals, and because they are distinct, they are working together in a new way. And I also feel like this is different parts of you. So if this is going on the outside for you, it's mirroring what's truly going on the inside, because we've got the animal self, we've got the divine self, or the magic self. I was just saying, this is like the body or the personality self, the desires, the things that we want to fulfill immediately. This is the magic that's within us. And this is the kind of the inner, the higher self that isn't bound to the earth. And it could be other things for you too, but it's like all of these parts of you, the personality, the ego desires, the higher self, the intuition, because our crow can be intuition as well, and he's right at that position of the third eye, if you look at this as a body. All of that is working together, but none of it is losing its individuality. So it's unified, but it's also distinct. And this is important because this Ace of Swords has been in the foundational cards asking you to know who you are, to know what your strengths are, and to cut yourself away from those who do not want to support your strengths. And it's really quite fun, actually, because she's got the red hair of the fox, and she's kind of got that light color of the fairy, and yet she's unafraid of the dark, the crow, what's unseen. And she's got the red is echoed here, it's at her feet. So there's a mastery going on here. And this is really about having the confidence to separate yourself from those who don't support you. There's something else coming through. Just give me a second here. And it's about being willing to chart your own course. Ace of Fire, entrepreneurship. Funny, they're inverses of each other. Do you see this one's got white hair and a red, kind of orange dress. So chart your own course, even if you find yourself being turned inside out. There's such a tendency with you to want to follow in the footsteps of other people, or to do the tried and true, what other people have found to be okay. But at this time, that's not what your soul is asking you to do. It's saying step out in a different way than everyone else. Step out in a new way. Yes, you're going to have dissenters. Yes, people aren't going to agree with you. But you do have support, and you do have things working out in your favor. So there's nothing to be afraid of. What is our final parting message here? Queen of Air, Five of Earth, and Eight of Water. So it's time to make this change. The Ace was emphasized, with the one energy was emphasized 4 times in this reading. And that means 4 is foundation. It's time to go. 5 plus 8 is 13, and that's also a 4. Okay, so you have the old energy of 4, what was stagnant, and I'm talking numerology number 4, what was stagnant and already established, versus the conglomerate of all of these new ways to start, new things to do. And the Queen of Air says you're telling yourself things that are keeping you in a place that you don't want to be in. So watch how you're talking to yourself, and understand that you've been in this place of negative talk, or negative, being held in the negative too long. You've overstayed your welcome. But that there's more courage that you need to build up. The Magician is also feeling like the amassing of power. You need to build up more courage before you take any action. Build up more and more belief, more and more trust. Sometimes what's fun about the unexpected is that it's unexpected, but what is maddening about the unexpected is that it's unexpected. So in order to totally be okay with finding gifts, with moving forward in timing that is not to your own calling, or not to your own deciding, your trust and confidence have to be stronger than ever, and they have to be even stronger than they are now. And that's what's really important. Your trust in your higher self, your trust in those who have crossed, in the divine, the universe, whatever words you want to use, that has to be stronger than where it is now. So everything I've said you're aware of, you know that it's resonating, and you know exactly where it's fitting into your life. But the one piece that you're missing is that however strong your confidence is, it's not even halfway there. And that is good because it's like, look at what you've accomplished with halfway confidence, but understand that the confidence needs to be built up even more. You haven't even tapped into the possibility of how strong your confidence could be with this, okay? In yourself, in everything we've been talking about. Yeah, in the flow, in the divine timing, in the flow of the universe for everything to happen in its right way. And wow, I'm just getting some throbbing back here. So apparently I'm resisting this message as well. So is there anything else that wants to come through? Just remember that you're always helped. Even if you don't see the little signs that you're helped, they're still there. So then all you have to do is look. All right, thank you for being here in this reading. Thank you for opening up your energy, and thank you to our guides and the energies on the other side that want to help us, for giving us the wisdom, the insight, and the clarity today. Wishing you so much peace, joy, and love on your journey, and I'll see you soon.